IBM.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Rachita.
Welcome to Paperback by the Open Library Project.
We have as our guest today Sucharita Tyagi, content creator and film critic on YouTube. In the first half of the episode, we discuss how one becomes a film critic, plays and books adapted into movies, and the Harry Potter series.
In the second half, we also discuss Yes, Please by Amy Poehler, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. To know more about the books we discussed, listen into the podcast. Welcome to Paperback by the Open Library Project. I am your co-host Satyajit, otherwise known as Onion Knight in most food circles. I'm hosting this podcast with my co-founder at the Open Library Project, Rachita Sharma.
Hi guys, my name is Rachita and I'm an ex-banker who gave up my banking profession to follow my passion and run libraries across the world. The Open Library Project is a non-fiction book library service offered to businesses on a subscription basis. We're trying to move away from the run-of-the-mill library concept by setting up rotational and locational curated libraries at co-working spaces, corporates and business incubators. The idea here is to create value, build a knowledge community, and encourage a growth mindset amongst our members.
Today we have with us on the show Sucharita Tyagi, content creator and film critic on YouTube. Welcome to the show, Sucharita.
Thank you for having me. You guys are so cute.
It's
Thank
just
you.
lovely to have you on the show.
I'm so glad to be back here. You know, since I left radio in 2017, this is the first time I am actually sitting in a recording studio such as this.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a while. It feels really good.
It's our fortune.
Feels really good.
So great. Welcome to the show, Sucharita.
Thank you.
We are both fans of your reviews that you do
Stop.
online, I've been following, I think, your reviews for maybe a couple of years.
Huh.
And I've based a lot of my film choices, whether I should go to the theatre or not, especially on your reviews.
बहुत
honestly.
बड़ा प्रेशर है ये मेरे कंधों के ऊपर क्योंकि जब लोग फिल्में देखते हैं उन्हें पसंद नहीं आती फिर वो गाली भी मुझे देते हैं कि तूने बोला था जाके देखने के लिए क्यों दिख गया केस इन पॉइंट बीइंग तमाशा आई रियली लाइक दैट फिल्म लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल डिडंट लाइक दैट फिल्म एंड आई गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ लाइक क्या था ये तो अच्छी मुझे तो अच्छी लगी
Yeah, even I loved that movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Not so much here.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
if you don't understand it, then
I know. You just didn't get it.
sure. I'll take that. So great. So Sucharita, tell us a little bit about, how you landed up being a film critic. How does that happen?
Right? Exactly,
Yeah,
right? Because
like-
it's not like you get a job opening on Facebook.
Exactly.
Film critics wanted. No, so I'll tell you, I was doing radio I did radio for about the best part of 10 years
Okay,
of my
wow.
career. I started
Wow.
very early. I was a radio jockey at 19
Wow.
in Delhi. तो 2015 की बात है अनुपमा चोपड़ा ने तभी मामी के साथ उनका एसोसिएशन स्टार्ट हुआ था जियो मामी फिल्म फेस्टिवल के साथ एंड शी हैड ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड हर ओन platform Film Companion, and while she was getting busy with the film festival because it's a big kind of institution, the
Right.
Mami Film Festival, right? So it
Right.
needs your full attention, especially if she was associating it with it for the first time. So the team Film Companion called me and they were like, because I was doing movie reviews on radio
Okay.
by that time already. And they wanted me to come in and see if I would be able to do it in the interim while she was gone.
Okay.
And the rest is history. I was supposed to do it for a brief bit, but it took off really well and everybody was enjoying it. I was enjoying it. Anupama was enjoying it. So we decided to keep it on.
Right. But I think reviews are also a lot about your own perspective. So
Absolutely.
it's your opinion on the movie. It doesn't
Absolutely.
have to be, like what everybody thinks. So I guess what's lovely about your reviews are that they're very frank and they're honest.
है ना?
Yeah.
मिल
very
जाती हूँ
honest.
मैं.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I have
you.
to say
Hilarious.
hilarious. I
Thank
mean,
you. मैं बहुत मेरी सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर बहुत फनी है आपको पता चलेगा हाँ जी नहीं बिकॉज फिल्म रिव्यूइंग आप टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स सीख सकते हैं कॉलेज जाके यू कैन टेक अ वर्कशॉप यू कैन टेक अ क्लास इन फिल्म अप्रिसिएशन एंड यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ सिनेमाज एंड हाउ इट हैज इम्पैक्टेड पॉपुलर कल्चर and culture.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is you're viewing every bit of cinema through your own personal experiences in your life that have brought you from point A to point B to point C.
Right.
So, as is the case always, a woman views one film differently. A man would view it differently. Someone in the LGBTQIA community would view certain subject matters differently, and we would not be able to understand certain subject matters. So obviously, it is your personal lens that you're viewing the film through. It's on the viewers, it's on the audience to decide which film critic they want to follow or associate with.
You're also very entertaining in the review. It's as entertaining as the movie, I guess. So,
but you're seeing it. It's me. It's who I am.
Definitely.
I mean,
what
Satyajit has seen me before. We've met before, and this is not an act that I'm putting on for a podcast.
It's the authenticity that comes through. It's actually when we met you for the first time through EFG. Also, I was like, this is exactly and we reached out to you because you were wearing a Hogwarts T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
if you
that's
remember,
right?
I saw a review of Sucharita doing a review in a Hogwarts T-shirt, and I thought that EFG store would be a great collaborator for the both
and
of us.
Tanisha has been amazing. She sent me some really cute, she sent me a Hufflepuff keychain because I'm Hufflepuff.
Okay,
and
which is amazing.
So am I.
You are? You guys? What are you?
No, Slytherin.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
Stop.
100%. Come on. Yeah.
How am I supposed to trust you now, man? What?
I'll earn your trust. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff.
Only to break it, is it?
Proud Hufflepuffian. So
we'll come back to the Slytherin point later on.
Yes.
So is authenticity, and I think again, like I mentioned earlier, it's really hilarious the way your take on things is something that I kind of relate to, because I think maybe we've had the same kind of influences growing up in terms of the cinemas, maybe the movies that we saw, the TV shows that we saw.
Probably, yeah.
And so that's why I really relate to it, and that's why I take your word for which movie I shouldn't go for, because I've found in these days of Netflix and Amazon Prime and all, that my patience level is very low.
Absolutely. If I'm going to get out of the house and spend time stuck in traffic and spend money on the movie and on popcorn and food, then I better be 125% entertained.
Absolutely.
It's kind of
or
like
moved or something.
It's kind of like what we do at the library itself, because we curate content for corporates or co-working spaces. So where we come in is, you say, I want to learn about, say, economics, or I want to learn about startups.
Sure.
So then we tell you that these are the top 10 books.
Right.
And they're not our recommendations. They're recommendations from experts in the industry.
Yeah.
So sort of getting the curation from those people and then giving it to you, saying that these people like these books.
Because time is money, my friend.
100%.
Nobody wants to waste their time.
Oh yeah, especially in this digital age.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And when there is so much curation available, I think the content needs to go up a notch, and it really needs to add some value back to the viewers, because I think cinema is a reflection of the society in a way, but it also really guides the society as to what is going on. And so if you are coming out with a movie, it should have a strong enough message of progression and not regression, is what I feel.
Absolutely right. Art imitates life, and most of the times also vice versa. Especially with cinema. Cinema has been used by leaders and politicians across the world ever since they realized the power of it, ever since they realized how much it actually affects people as a propaganda tool.
Oh yeah.
So there have been movies and other small bits of content that politicians and leaders across the world, I'm not talking about India specifically, but across the world in so many countries. So cinema is very, very, very powerful.
Right.
Hindi cinema, I feel even more so, because we have a very strange celebrity culture here. Yeah. We are in love with celebrities. We are obsessed with our celebrities.
Reverent almost.
Yeah, exactly. भगवान की तरह उनकी पूजा करते हैं. तो इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि अगर आपकी फिल्म में मैसेज नहीं भी है, आपको हर बार कोई मैसेज वाली फिल्म कोई बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट आपकी फिल्म की मैसेजिंग सही होनी चाहिए.
Right.
Whatever you're saying with your film, it can be just an out and out comedy.
Right.
But even if in that comedy you're insulting minorities or women or anybody who's discriminated against and playing it for laughs, then that doesn't work for me.
But don't you think that a lot of the Indian comedy is all about, body shaming and like the humor is very, I don't know, low, I feel. Like we don't have sort of there is no respect towards, like it's about kitni moti hai and kitna kala hai, and like that's what the humor is, which is, it's so sad, because It's not adding anything to anybody.
तभी तो when you see a film like स्त्री,
Right.
जिसमें थोड़ा मेहनत करके लाइंस लिखे हैं, you know, you तो बड़ी दिल से खुशी होती है अंदर से कि कोई मेहनत कर रहा है,
Right.
कोई लिख रहा है. We are not just sticking to physical jokes about somebody's physicality.
Yeah.
You know, so कभी कभी आ जाती है बड़ी अच्छी अच्छी फिल्म, ऐसी बात नहीं है. बरेली की बर्फी कितनी फनी फिल्म थी, बड़े मजे आते हैं वो पिक्चर देखे. सारी राजकुमार राव की फिल्में याद आती हैं मुझे.
Yeah, we saw PK recently. I had not seen it ever.
PK?
Yeah,
हाय, मुझे नहीं अच्छी लगी थी
and
वो.
I was like,
मेरे को बिल्कुल नहीं अच्छी लगी थी.
Quite a touchy topic to.
तो आपने वो देखी है? Oh my
I
God.
like it because it's very subtle.
Oh my
It's
God
subtle.
देखो.
Oh my God.
Oh my God
Oh my
ज़्यादा
God,
बढ़िया.
yeah,
Same
yeah.
topic, similar.
Right.
Like
That's the one on the play that got
Yes.
converted
Yes.
into a
Yeah.
movie, right?
Yes.
Right.
yeah, वो काफी पीके से पहले आई थी फिल्म और वो अच्छी फिल्म थी.
Okay, great. I'll definitely check it out.
हाँ. Please देखिए.
So great. Talking about movies that got adapted from books or plays.
Yes.
Let's talk about Harry Potter.
Always ready.
I saw the smile like before he completed his sentence.
Always ready to talk about Harry Potter. मेरे पास ना वो गेम है हैरी पॉटर ट्रिविया जो गेम आती है ना, उसमें हैरी पॉटर वर्जन है मेरे पास उसका डेक, और मैं सबको इतना हरा चुकी हूँ उस गेम में. बहुत मजा आता है मेरे को.
I used to be competitive at Quiz Up. You know this app was like Quiz Up. So I used to be in the top 5, top 10 regularly. But now
Trivial Pursuit. That game is called.
Trivial Pursuit. Okay.
I have the Harry Potter deck. It's really
So
nice.
before we get into it, I just want to like defend Slytherins here for a bit. Before
You can try.
Yeah, I can try. So basically, what I feel and why I really associate with the Slytherin house is because they are by
Rajita
default
is not even taking it seriously for 5 seconds.
not
She's not taking it
interested only.
seriously. She's like, sure.
It's because they are always considered bad without even doing anything. Right?
Acha.
Right. So I'm a college dropout and I had multiple failed businesses and all earlier.
हाँ.
So people used to think that तो
बुरा आदमी है.
कुछ नहीं करेगा, you can't do anything, तुमसे ना हो पाएगा types, and so then while reading the Harry Potter books a second time actually in my 20s while I was going through all this, I realized there are a lot of Slytherins also, which are Snape best example, but there may be others also. We can get to it.
Yeah.
But
You like the underdogs basically.
Hey, Slytherins are anything but underdogs.
No, but they are just
Are you telling me Malfoy is an underdog?
In a
He's
way.
an
You know,
overdog.
in a way
Like
he's
he
a-
was
no.
pressurized
Come
to be
on.
in that,
Sure, he eventually
stepped
redeems
up.
himself.
Yeah, he
Spoiler
did.
alert. He becomes a good guy in the end. But please, Slytherins are not underdogs.
Come on, Malfoy is my
Slytherins
favorite.
are like rich,
Malfoy is
spoiled
like
people.
my favorite character. Like,
Listen, this podcast is over. I'm out of here.
oh man.
but what do you think, is a book more interesting to read, or there are some movies which are actually really brilliant adaptations of the book, but what do you personally prefer, like reading a book or watching a movie, or for instance in Harry Potter, which was your preference?
मेरे को तो दोनों पसंद है. मेरे को ना हैरी पॉटर की किताबें तो obviously it means something else to me. Harry Potter is not just a series of books. It's a whole different thing. Like if I ever meet JKR, I will die.
Yeah. I know
Definitely. I will have a heart attack and disease. Be deceased in 5 seconds. So Harry Potter, I'm not even going to compare the books to the movies, because obviously the books to me are something very, very special, which the movies will never be able to achieve. Having said that, I immensely enjoyed Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh yeah,
the movie. And then later on, this was before my film critiquing days, right? Because the movies came out बहुत पहले. So later on I realized Alfonso Cuarón had directed
it, right?
Who's like a fantastic filmmaker.
Right.
And then later on I'm like, oh, see, makes sense. Makes sense. Why I like that movie so much. Even up until the last film came out, the third one was still my favorite. And then when the last film came out, it was like, all right, this is it, because it was the end, right? So that also I enjoyed very much. But yes, I had huge problems with I'll tell you which one, where Luna Lovegood gets taken.
Is it the 7th one?
I think it's the 7th one.
Because that was horrible.
Yeah. The 7th movie, the first part.
Yeah, the first
part. Yeah. I did not like that. Or even the 6th one I didn't like so much. But the last one was good. David Yates directed all the last few movies,
ones, I think.
Yeah. वो बड़े अजीब है, तो Dementors उड़ रहे हैं. Dementors can't fly. Only Voldemort can fly. Dementors can't fly. That's like Snape can fly because he turns into a bat or something, I think.
Yeah, he does turn into a bat.
Yeah, he does.
I think he turns into he's an animagus and he turns into a bat, I believe.
Yeah.
But Dementors can't fly, and that really pissed me off. No.
That's fair. That's like a fair point of contention for the movies.
Did you guys watch the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did you
Definitely.
think of them?
I have very little to say on this, but I actually like the first one much more than the second one. So
I just think like J.K. Rowling is kind of building a more whimsical, magical kind of.
it doesn't have the same.
It doesn't have the same feeling as a Harry Potter movie, and I think that's great. I also think that since there are going to be 5 movies, we should be patient because Horcruxes weren't mentioned in the Harry Potter series until the 6th book or the 5th book or something. So like we need to have some patience in terms of the story playing out
building,
and enough confidence that J.K. Rowling will have a well flushed out story for fans, right?
I don't have confidence in her as a screenplay writer.
Okay.
I have confidence in her as a storyteller,
Right.
as an author.
Right.
But as a screenplay writer, she really let me down.
Okay.
In the second movie.
In the second movie.
The first one was great. The first one, the story was great because you're finally meeting Newt Scamander.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And finding out what it is that he's all about.
Yeah,
What
it's
is the
some
books.
history,
correct.
perspective given, context
And
given
the
to stuff,
creatures
right?
that they created
Yeah.
was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Niffler
Beautiful.
and
The Niffler,
everything. It's
yeah.
just like amazing, all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right? Picket, like that little thing
yeah,
that he
yeah,
keeps in
yeah.
his pocket.
The boat truckle.
Yeah, the boat truckle.
Yeah.
But in the second one, I felt the story was lacking, the screenplay was all over the place. If you remember, there is this house help that he has in the beginning of the movie, Newt Scamander.
Right.
I think her name is Sunny or Bonnie or something like that. And she obviously has a crush on him because when he comes home and she's feeding the guys, the creatures, and then he takes his shirt off and she's looking at him. And
Yeah,
there's a whole scene that they create of
Right.
like him coming home and she's already taking care of and she's in love with him and things like that. Then she vanishes.
She's gone.
From the film.
Yeah.
So that is poor screenplay writing.
Right.
That is poor scripting also.
Yeah.
That why are you introducing a character
Which
in
is
such a big way
Right.
who's not gonna, if you're gonna introduce somebody in the same way that you're spending the same time that you did on a Kowalski, then you have to make them important.
Right.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm invested in something for no reason.
Yeah.
So I felt as a screenplay writer, JKR kind of let me down.
It didn't really lead you anywhere, but like maybe what Satyajit said, that it'll
Maybe
build
I'm-
over time
I
and
don't
maybe
know.
this character would have relevance
I'm biased
later.
by how big a fan I am. of
Ezra
J.K.
Miller,
Rowling.
though, yaar. Ezra Miller is amazing.
Oh, man, he's too good.
so good.
He's too good, yeah.
Oh, did you guys? I mean, you are not a very big Harry Potter head, are you?
I am
Rachita.
a great fan of her writing and the
Yeah.
books, but I have not like gone crazy all out with trivias and all of that.
But did you guys realize after the first Fantastic Beasts movie that this is gonna come back to Ariana Dumbledore's death at some
Oh
point?
yeah.
Yeah.
That
With the
she
Obscurus,
was the
right?
Obscurus,
Yeah,
that
I
it's
kind of
gonna
got
get
that.
that
connected
was I think that was mentioned in the
No, it's not mentioned, but the
in
internet
the-
exploded after.
Even in the books, it doesn't say how she died.
How she died.
It says that she died because there was a duel and one Albus Dumbledore's spell misfired and killed her. That's
Okay.
what it says in the books.
Yeah, but
right?
it's pretty similar to when we saw the Obscural and all, like
Correct.
in
It's the
first
explosion of magic.
Yeah, so it kind of
kind
that's
of
what is
fell
happening.
together. What did you think
But the
about?
reveal in the end of the second Fantastic Beasts movie was like I don't know. It's out of the blue for me.
It was very stupid.
What do you mean?
It was very
it'll
stupid.
Be like
It really
China
pissed
Pride.
me off. It really pissed
Stop
me off.
justifying
Oh, man.
I was like, 7 books, Potter more,
yeah.
and so much.
Yeah.
And you're suddenly throwing this in my face that Dumbledore had a third
Third
brother.
brother, right.
Get out of here. Get out. Just leave.
Oh, man.
I didn't buy that at all. And this brother
Okay.
has been living as an orphan and he's an obscurial. And no. Just no. It's too much. It was too much for me to handle.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good opinion.
I didn't like that movie at all, man. I went to Universal in Los Angeles, and they have the Visiting World of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is amazing. They have this ride, and they have like 4D experiences. बहुत ही मजे हैं.
Wow, yeah. Can't wait to go there.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back after this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome week on the IBM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IBM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. One more reminder, we are still hiring. We're looking for producers, content creators, audio engineers, developers, and basically all kinds of people. Go onto our careers page, ibmpodcast.com/careers, and apply. Please send us your resume and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also wanted to make a note to you all that, hey, if you are listening to us and you hear something you like, take a screenshot of what you're doing, send it to us on social media, tag us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or wherever, and we'll repost you on our own page. This week, your favorite fitness podcaster, Urmi Kothari, is back with Season 2 of the Kinetic Living Podcast. Urmi is doing 2 bite-sized episodes every week, Tabata Tuesdays, which will be a 4-minute workout, and a second called Thriving Thursdays, where Urmi will share motivating personal experiences of challenges she's faced. On Cyrus Says, actor and improviser Mukul Chadda talks to Cyrus about his central role in the Indian adaptation of The Office, the process of adapting the scripts, and how he went from being a research analyst in New York to an actor and improviser in Mumbai. On the first episode of Tech Careers in the New, presented by Accenture, Sheila Ditya is in conversation with Sanjeev Narsipur. He's the managing director and blockchain lead at Accenture Technology Services, and they talk about blockchain, its real-world practical applications, and what it takes to have a career in this space. On IVM Likes, IVM staffers delve deeper into the universe of independent and parallel cinema. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks about never missing Mondays. He also talks about maintaining the momentum and owning that habit. On ATKT Talent 10, P-Man and Krupa are joined by Sai, a rapper, and Kala, a music producer and rapper. They talk about their ATKT journey, the first songs they composed and produced together, and collaborations with other rappers. On Not Just Dansak, Parsin talks to Roxanne Bambot and Maruk Mogrelia about immersive Parsi food experiences like Parsi food walks and home dining. On What a Player, Siddharth, Mikhail and Akash review the previous week of the ongoing ICC Cricket World Cup, preview the upcoming week along with some unusual predictions, and give out their What a Player of the Week. On the Pragati podcast, Pranay Kotastane returns to help us understand how fiscal federalism works in India. And with that, let's continue on with your show.
Welcome back, guys. We still have with us Sucharita Tyagi. Hi, Sucharita.
Haley.
So we are going to talk about, from Harry Potter, we're going to go to another favorite of mine, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yay!
By Douglas Adams.
Yes.
So one of the reasons I really like this book is it's so weird and wacky that I actually, while reading it, I find myself laughing out
Yes.
loud. And a lot of times my siblings or my parents at that time used to
Yes.
be like, what's
Absolutely.
up with you, dude? What is so funny in this book? And when I used to show them, they used to be like, this is nonsense. Why are you laughing?
That's
Right?
why it's funny,
That's
because it's
hilarious.
nonsense.
Exactly.
He makes
Exactly.
nonsense looks like amazing. There's a whole chapter on, not even just a chapter, like a whole period of time that he spends on the sport of cricket. And he calls it cricket because it's some other sport that is being played in some other galaxy, but it's cricket.
Yeah,
But it
but
is
it's
spelled
given an
cricket with a K. And it's just, and then there's a force field that appears, and the force field is called somebody else's problem. It's so absurd. It's hilarious. You have to be a genius to have a book with so many quotable quotes.
Oh, yeah.
Every paragraph there's a quote that has gone down in history as something
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
You know, the great science fiction and fantasy is what inspires our reality sometimes, in the context of Star Trek kind of led to us getting our phones. And Hitchhiker's Guide, there's something called the Babelfish,
Of
which
course.
is amazing, right?
Yeah.
You get this fish when you're traveling, hitchhiking through the galaxy,
And
which
you stuff it in your
stuff
ear.
it into your ear, and it translates all the alien languages so that you can understand it in your
English.
whatever language.
Whatever
right?
language you prefer, yeah.
And this
Vogon poetry.
Vogon poetry.
There's so much. There is so much.
So tell us some favorite character or a quote that really
Zaphod
stands out for you.
Beeblebrox.
Oh man,
He's the president of the universe in the beginning, and then he steals the spaceship and he runs away.
Yeah.
And that's the adventure that that begins.
the spaceship with the improbability drive, right?
Correct. You can you press it and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You press one button, the improbability drive button, and you don't know what's going to happen.
It calculates the most improbable thing that could happen and takes you there.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I have seen the movie.
The movie was kind of it was an indie, I think. It was a very small film.
But I kind of liked it because they got the flavor of the writing, It wasn't...
And if you cast Martin Freeman as Arthur Dent,
As Arthur Dent.
you've got it right.
When I saw the movie, I didn't... he wasn't... I don't know if he was that famous
No,
at
he
that
wasn't.
time, right?
No, definitely not. Because it was very long ago.
Very
before
long back, 2005-ish or maybe somewhere around that time.
Zoe Deschanel
And
is in it.
Zoe Deschanel,
Nobody knew. Nobody knew who she was back then.
But the movie is also just a part of the book, right? It doesn't cover all
the first part.
The first part.
So
Yeah.
basically, Hitchhiker's Guide, first when he wrote it, was a trilogy of 5 books. Trilogy
Wasn't
of
it
5.
trilogy? A trilogy in 5 parts. Wasn't it a radio program
was it?
to begin with? I mean, I'm not sure, but I think either it was a radio program and then he made it into a book. I'm not quite sure about that, but I could be mistaken.
We'll check that out.
Yeah.
And the story is so weird because Earth blows up and then you have the protagonist, which is Arthur
You know why
Dent.
the Earth blows up? Because they're creating an intergalactic highway.
Oh.
So Earth is in the way.
Earth is in the way.
So they blow it up.
So it needs to be demolished.
क्योंकि
basically.
bypass बनना है.
It sounds like things we do now.
That's the whole
the
point.
context of the...
That's the point. So Arthur Dent,
Yeah.
the first scene of the book, he wakes up
Okay.
and he's just going about his day. He's a very boring man with a boring job. He's going about his day and he sees a yellow bulldozer outside his house.
Yeah,
A bulldozer has arrived. It's going to break down its house. And he's saying, what are you doing? And they say, यहाँ पे बाईपास बनेगा, आपका घर तोड़ने आया है. उसने बोला मेरे को कौन बताएगा? कह रहे प्लान तो इतने टाइम से म्युनिसिपैलिटी में रखा हुआ है, तुमने देखा नहीं जाके? He's like मैं लेट जाऊंगा बुलडोजर के आगे, यहाँ से कुछ नहीं होने वाला. वो लेट जाता है बुलडोजर के आगे, फिर बुलडोजर वाले लाइक क्या करें अब हम लाइफ में? Immediately in the next sequence, he finds out that his best friend is an alien who has come to the earth, and now he knows that the earth is going to be destroyed because bulldozer, they're going to remove it because
and
bypass
he's trying
ban hai.
from years to, find the solution or something, right? The friend
and then
thing.
they hitchhike and they go into the...
They use a towel to
They
hitchhike.
use a towel, they use this thumb, and then they hitchhike. His best friend's name is Ford Perfect or Ford Prefect?
Prefect.
You know why he names himself Ford Prefect?
Why?
Because when he first came to Earth, I love this. When he first came to Earth, he thought the dominant life forms were cars. Because there are so many cars. So he names himself after a car to blend in. Ford Prefect.
Nice.
I mean, you have to be a genius.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so even the Vogon poetry, which is
The worst poetry in the universe.
So it's a form of torture for people who are captured. Vogons go to their prisoners and recite poetry to them, and it's the worst.
That's their way of killing them,
It's
basically.
the worst form of torture in the galaxy.
It's too funny. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about it. It makes me crack.
My poetry is so bad that you will die.
Yeah.
And then they say resistance is futile. And then they tie you and then make you listen to poetry. And people are like, no.
Save me from this.
Ears bleeding and all.
Literally. It's too funny. So I love Douglas Adams and the universe that he created, and he tragically died too soon before we could have had an opportunity to read more of his work. I have read a little bit of Dirk Gently,
Okay.
the detective series that he wrote, but obviously nothing compares to Hitchhiker's Guide to the
I
Galaxy.
actually saw the show, Dirk Gently.
Yeah.
And it's very well made.
Yeah. I saw a couple of episodes now.
And it's as weird as like the book. The story is as weird as the book. So it kind of connects back at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
But you have to really have some patience to get there, right?
Yeah.
For 10 or 13 episodes. Because
Absolutely.
for a long time things don't connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And eventually they do. So,
Yes.
great show, great book.
People who I
as well.
like, I gift them copies of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Great.
Like,
Gifting
this is-
books is a very great initiative.
If I gift you a set of Harry Potters, or if I gift you Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you know that you're one of my favorite people in the
Great.
world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. So the next book that we're going to talk about is Yes Please by Amy Poehler.
That's right. Yeah.
So Amy Poehler, of course, world-renowned comedian.
Yes. Comedian,
And,
writer, performer, mother, amazing woman.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about why this book stands out for you.
Amy Poehler's show Parks and Recreation is one of my absolute favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I got into it very late because it didn't air in India when it was airing in the United States. So I got into it recently when it came onto OTT platforms. And I love the character that she has. Her character's name is Leslie Knope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last name Knope. And it's just this small town politician who has big dreams. Small town government worker and then becomes a politician who has big dreams. And that is a character I've related to the most in any American sitcom that I've seen. I thought I was like a kind of like a Phoebe, but I'm not. I am very much like a Leslie Knope.
Okay.
And then when I saw that show, I got more interested in Amy Poehler and her work and her life. Of course, I'd seen lots of SNL work that she has done. She's been one of the most prolific Saturday Night Live performers, writers, and creators. But I got into her life a little bit more after Parks and Recreation, and I saw some more of her cinema. And I read her book very recently. In fact, it's an old book. It's not a new book, but I read it very recently on my Kindle. That's the last book I finished reading about 2 weeks back.
Okay.
And it's just about her journey as a girl from a middle-class family who moved to New York very young and didn't have any money, and how they would do improv shows on streets and in theaters, and how she made the right friends and how she made some wrong friends, and just her journey through life, motherhood, divorce, Saturday Night Live, movies, Parks and Recreation. And it's just very inspiring because she's a very regular woman with very regular woman updates about life and opportunities that she grabbed and turned into success. So it was very exciting to read.
It's quite an honest, expression of how her life has been, especially her failures, like dropping out of college or using drugs. And she's very candid about whatever she's done. And she says that, we should accept that we've been through that phase in life, and it's something that you shouldn't be hiding because it just makes you stronger.
Yeah.
So be whoever you are, say whatever you want, and it's divided in 3 parts, the book, and it's quite beautifully written. So yeah, I think another book very similar to this is The Moment of Lift, which again is Melinda Gates' book, and she's actually talking about equal pay or women empowerment or birth control, and she's linked her life to it so beautifully. So she's in sort of the background where she's talking about her life and also the changes she made along the way. And it's surprising when you read these books, you realize that there are so many women who are not even aware of the fact that I can do whatever I want, and I have that choice. It is a choice and I can make it. And, it was like really disturbing to read certain things which we living in Mumbai city would never even imagine can be a problem, like
very
for
privileged.
us. Yeah, where like these privilege, and then we go like, oh, feminism and all. I'm like, when I read the book, I was like, you know what, we can't be speaking.
We have to be more inclusive and more understanding. And a lot of times we just have to shut up and let other women speak their part.
Absolutely.
Melinda Gates is a very important woman for the world.
Yeah.
I know so many people who work on grants given by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
That foundation is a superb. It's like both of them and what they stand for,
because he has so much money. They have so much money. They don't know what to do with it, and what they're doing with it is the best way they could use it. I know so many people in public health who work in various organizations in India and abroad, and a lot of their work is possible because the Gates Foundation is helping.
What she really talks about well in this book, and it's something that like you guys are talking about feminism right now, right? So a lot of times what happens is that we don't even understand what we're talking about. So this book is a great way, because she talks about how she was not a feminist, how she did not identify with that ideology.
Gotcha.
And what kind of her life, how it took her, because she's a very independent woman and intelligent woman herself. She was a computer scientist at Microsoft, making her own way before she got married to Bill Gates. And her professional career has always been, then with the foundation, she is very well established. And she said that, if I could do it, I don't think all other people should be able to do it. But for her to understand what
that
it
not
really
everybody
meant,
can do it.
Yeah, so she talks about equal opportunity a lot. Like we need to, the outcome may not be equal, but at least the opportunity needs to be equal for everyone. So that's something that she's really very well articulated in this book, is that, even if you are a feminist in a urban city, there are things that you can be doing. And it's a very India-centric book, surprisingly, because
actually,
I didn't know how much work they're doing in India.
Oh, yeah.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
And like almost all the anecdotes are from either Africa or India, and I related to it in such a way, like it really moved me, this book.
Wow, okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, also another thing that really helped me understand gender parity was Emma Watson's speech at the He for She
United Nations
conference, right? Because she was like, it's not going to happen with, anyone trying to do it alone. Everyone needs to do it together. Right?
See, that's how you use your privilege.
Exactly.
That's how you use the power that has been given to you as a straight white woman, who's rich and popular. And if she's using her privilege, because privilege hai to hai, उसको acknowledge करो, और उसको use करो सही तरीके से. और वो जो कर रही है एमा वॉटसन, वो बंदी हरमैनी है, वो दिल से हरमैनी है.
I think so.
Spew.
This
in the books,
in the real world,
in the books,
like,
she's
so you gotta love that,
Society
right?
for Elfish Welfare. Society for Protection of and Elfish Welfare or something like that. Never mind, I forget.
That's what it was, I think. Okay. And so that's what really got me thinking about, got my understanding of gender parity better, and what we could all be doing, even as men, even as women, to get people. There's a moment of lift that she talks about. That's why the book is titled Moment of Lift. So when you do your movie reviews, a lot of people, young women looking at you will look. This could be their moment of lift.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe this, guys. After my most disputed movie review, Kabir Singh, was published. When I came back the next week to talk about Article 15, I got so many comments saying, "Wow, we're surprised you're back." Girls saying, "I thought that you're going to be off the air for off the internet for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and we're so happy to see that you're back." And I was like, I have no reason to stay off, guys. I did a movie review that people disagreed with, but that made me realize why women are scared of coming on the internet. Why women don't want to be content creators, because they're scared of the toll it'll have on their mental health, on their confidence, because that's how the Indian internet is also split up, right? There's 75% men on the internet, and even in this tier 2, tier 3 cities where internet is permeating, it's going first to the men and secondary to the women. So women are scared of being online because of the trolling and the backlash that they're scared that they will face from men. And it really made me realize very strongly how important it is to continue to stand your ground.
Absolutely.
Just इतना सस्ता इंटरनेट है, इसका अच्छा यूज करना बहुत जरूरी है.
No, it's brilliant. Power to you for that.
Thanks, girl.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah. So Sucharita, can you tell us where we can find you on the internet?
Absolutely. I'm very active on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. On Instagram and Twitter, @Suforita. That is SU, the digit 4, ITA, because it is Sucharita ka 4, and I thought it was a very clever thing at one point of time. And on Facebook, it is called @Sucharita ka page.
Great.
Straight.
And a big thank you to all our listeners. You can follow the Open Library Project on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook for latest updates on our events, and stay tuned for the next Paperback podcast on IVM Podcasts. Happy reading. You can follow IVM Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @IVM Podcasts.
Awesome.
Great. That was great.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IVM Podcast app, or ivmpodcast.com, or on your favorite podcasting app.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.